Talking about clubs, talking about New York, Brooklyn Mirage. The updates regarding the Brooklyn Mirage are fucking hilarious. The updates regarding the Brooklyn Mirage are fucking hilarious. This place is never opening. This place is never opening. This is the latest update courtesy of bkmag.com. Brooklyn Mirage parent company reportedly bleeding money trying to sell the business, which makes a lot of sense because there was this random person on Instagram, no, on Twitter actually, forgive me, I don't remember your name, but there was this random person that I remember who posted and said something like, oh, I've been told that they're going to take everything down at the Brooklyn Mirage. This fucking renovation work ain't going to go forward. They've kind of not met all the standards that need to be done to kind of for it to go. They have to tear everything down and start again, or scrap the whole thing. But the whole season is gone. Scrap the year. You won't be raving there anytime soon. And people were calling him out, saying, or whoever that person is, and saying, oh, you're talking shit. That's a lie. That's a lie. Eventually, now it's been proven right, because I don't think there's been a single rave that's gone on since Brooklyn Mirage was meant to reopen, I think in May or something. There's been cancellation after cancellation. I think they've actually cancelled the whole season coming up as well. And now it looks like maybe it won't even open again this year. Fucking crazy. Let's read the article. It says, more than 2 months after its planned reopening, Brooklyn Mirage remains shuttered, and Avant Gardner, the embattled East Williamsburg venue parent company, is now reportedly trying to sell the business and ongoing financial permitting woes. So that CEO guy must be quite vindicated, because it seems like he wasn't fired because of poor performance. It seems like he was fired because the company was bleeding money and just needed to get his wage off the fucking, get his salary off the wage bill. I'm assuming. I don't think it was to do with his, maybe it was partly, but I think overall it's because the company's not doing well. Avant Gardner, the non-executive chairman of the board, Gary Richards, also known by his DJ alias Destructo, has overheard the that's a horrible name considering what's going on in it. DJ Destructo is also head of this fucking company, and Brooklyn Mirage is destroyed and not reopening anytime soon. So poetic. That has overheard discussing the difficulties that the company had encountered finding a buyer while dining recently at per se a French restaurant in the Columbia Circle overlooking Central Park. That's fucking hilarious. This guy was just like yapping super loud in the restaurant about his company and how badly it was doing and how much money it was bleeding. Honestly, New York is not a real place, man. New York is not a fucking real place. The quote, I was literally in a restaurant and he was sitting at the table right next to me, an eyewitness told BK Mag. It was pure chance. I was looking at them the whole night talking about how they want I was looking at them the whole night talking about how they want to sell Avant Gardner because it's bleeding money, but they're looking for a buyer, but it's impossible right now. Richards was brought in to replace former Brooklyn Mirage CEO Josh Wyatt, who was hired in October 2024 to rebrand and revamp Avant Gardner, and was fired in late May after the initial delays. So I wonder if they did this on purpose. I wonder if they purposely went to that restaurant. I wonder if they just leaked this on purpose. Forget even the restaurant thing. I wonder if this is just an intentional leak to kind of sound out some potential buyers that might want to take over the contract or take over the lease, whatever it may be. This feels a little bit fishy. It continues. We reach out to Avant Gardner team for a statement, but they are unable to provide a statement for the article by press time. However, an Avant Gardner operations team member who asked for their name not to be used if their retribution said they've also heard chatter about the company trying to sell, and summarized that, quote, if they don't get bought, they'll definitely have to file bankruptcy. Jesus Christ. If they don't get bought, they'll definitely have to file bankruptcy. And just the other day, somebody posted this video on the Raves NYC subreddit, also known as AVES NYC subreddit, and they posted this and said Brooklyn Mirage is still standing as of today. So this was what the inside of the Brooklyn Mirage looked like just a week ago. So it looks like the building works are continuing. They're trying to do a thing. It's slowly but surely looking like the fucking things that we saw online, the fucking renderings. But I guess it wasn't soon enough. And this is the person I mentioned. Big up this person called Dak. Who they called? Dak Liner. Big up Dak Liner. This is on the 20th of June. The 20th of June, this person tweeted and said, LMFAO, Brooklyn Mirage got ordered to tear everything down. My source is the grapevine, and the grapevine is never wrong. So this was on the 20th, and already now people are talking about overhearing the CEO saying they want to file bankruptcy or find a new buyer. So it's looking likely, you know, the rumors and the chat around is pretty much true. The company, so it continues here, quote, the company is so broke that certain employees are missing months of back pay and they're not paying any holiday incentive wages. As far as speculation goes, for me, this summer is a wash, the insider said. Yeah, so I don't know. I've been in that situation before where like the company you're working for is bankrupt or is not doing well. So that means you're not getting paid on time, but you're also so broke and so desperate of a job that you can't leave. So you basically stay hoping they figure out the finances so you can get paid. But then the more you stay, the more you're working without getting paid. You know, it's such a fucking stressful situation. I hate when that shit happens. Like I always think that's what, one of the worst things as a company to do to your employees, people are helping build whatever you're doing, to not pay them on time. I think if you're unable to pay them on time, or you don't have enough runway to pay them for, you know, a prolonged period of time, just let people know ahead of time. It's gonna hurt. People might spit feathers at you and throw a strop, but it's much better than places I've been at where the CEO founder will bury their head in the sand, hope things just change miraculously by itself, and then when it doesn't and it's time for you to get paid, suddenly there's an issue and they go missing. When really, if you just would keep people updated and let people know, hey, we're running into some financial problems, we're not able to secure this license, blah 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 blah. Keep people updated along the way. You know, don't say everything, but some milestone updates. People are way more understanding and patient. But if you kind of bury your head in the sand, or if you ignore people, or if you just purposely just, you know, go out of your way to fuck them over, then it can be bad for morale and almost impossible to turn around. Because I've been in situations like this where, you know, I've nearly come to blows with founders and shit because of their inability or maybe you know, lack of leadership that's led to a place where no one's getting paid. It's fucking horrible. So I can't imagine. So thoughts and feelings go out to the people that work there still. It continues and says the Brooklyn Mirage, which was slated to open on May 1st after the ambitious redesign, has been plagued by failed safety inspections, unmet construction deadlines, and a worsening relationship with fans. 10 weeks of shows thus far have been cancelled. 10 weeks of shows have been cancelled or relocated, including 2 dates for Black Coffee's 4-show residency. These are it's not even, it's probably the money earning potential too, right? This is meant to be like a marquee year. This is meant to be the time when they open with a big fucking bang. So many DJs, so many different types of acts, so many different people from all over the world coming down to see it. And a Black Coffee show, 4-show residency. Oof. This weekend's 2-day Boiler Room event was relocated to under the K Bridge, and although Avant Gardener's website still has Lee Burridge all-day I Dream event slated for Mirage on Sunday, the chances of that happening are slim at best. As of Thursday, the city's Department of Buildings still had objections to the Mirage's application of a temporary place of assembly certificate of operation, which is required for event spaces for 200 people gathered outside. Avant Gardener, which also has reportedly been quietly co-managed by Andrew Axelord, the founder of AXA Capital Hedge Fund, and undoubtedly experienced significant financial losses of lost venue, not to mention a 30 million redesigned venue that has sat empty for over 2 months. The venue hasn't offered a public statement since cancelling its Memorial Day event weekend shows. I'm just wondering, because I remember reading earlier that there was this rumor that allegedly whoever's in charge of the Brooklyn Mirage renovation just skirted a bunch of like building regulation laws things, and allegedly in New York there's like a big, you know, the control of all of the buildings and stuff is mostly held by the unions and I don't know, in municipality or something, and if you don't get things approved by them or rubber stamped, then you can't build anything. If that's the case, and you have to, you know, maybe grease some palms to kind of get things put through and approved, why don't you just do it? Why did they think they could kind of go around those people? Why did they think they could be the exceptions to the rule? You know, if the unions are in charge, if the unions are the ones that say what goes up, what doesn't go up, what gets approved, what doesn't get approved, why aren't they just playing nice and making sure they can get things done? Like, if that's the case, I'm not too sure if that's the case. Maybe they, you know, maybe things just aren't up to spec and it's just not safe, and until it's safe they're not going to approve anything, no matter how much money's online. But I remember seeing that rumor early on Reddit that, you know, someone just fucked up and thought they were Billy Big Balls and thought they can go around without paying the VIG, right? without paying the tax, and now it's they're bleeding them dry effectively. It's pretty fucking crazy. It's pretty fucking crazy.